or end when that policy goes in force? Your relationship with that customer is just beginning, right? It doesn't end because you delivered the policy and got your commission check. It's just the beginning. And that's for a couple reasons. One, you have an obligation to take care of this client for as long as this policy is in force, right? Two, I think about my life just 5 years ago, how different my life was. But I have life insurance that's been in force since I was 21 years old. Now think about how much my life has changed over the past 20 years, right? Things change in our lives, and therefore what we need changes in our lives. And then lastly, it's a great opportunity for you for a number of reasons. One, you might have the opportunity to better serve clients by doing annual reviews, right? Two, what else can you do? A guy named Bill Cates yesterday came and talked about something. Yeah, what a great opportunity to get referrals and remind your clients how you helped them to begin with. And then use some of the strategies that Bill gave you yesterday in order to find more people to get in front of. It's a wonderful opportunity for everyone. One problem with annual reviews. Kind of a lot of work, right? To do them the right way, they're a lot of work. I mean, that's not sugarcoated. It's a lot of work to do annual reviews. And they don't always end up in these great sales and these great opportunities and referrals left and right. That doesn't mean we shouldn't be doing them. And what's great is Trent Asher, our Chief Information Officer, he's been hard at work in an effort to utilize technology to make this annual review process much easier and really almost like getting a text alert on your phone that, hey, something's changed in your client's life. How cool is that? It's not going to be on your phone, it's actually going to be an email. But that's okay, you're going to get alerted anyway. And to help us, or to show this tool, the enhancements to the tool rather, Trent Asher, our own Chief Information Officer.
There we go. All right, thank you, Andy. So, as he kind of mentioned, the annual review process is obviously very, very important. And I know a lot of you here today probably already have your own CRMs, your own systems, whether it be phone calls, emails, maybe there's a letter that goes out. But I wanted to kind of go through a couple of things today, talk about some new utilities that we've added that might help you in this regard, and also kind of remind you of a couple of the some of the old tools that might help you with this as well. And so the first kind of option I want to talk about here is kind of the easy button option, okay? And so you may remember a few years ago we released in our CRM system our email marketing campaigns, and there were a couple of different subscriptions that you as the agent could opt into. And if you remember, one of those was the policy anniversary email that goes out to your clients kind of when that policy anniversary comes along. And so I just wanted to remind you about that one. And today this is what it looks like. It's just kind of a simple, fluffy email. It says, thank you for being my client. Obviously your name is there, your picture, so you're kind of staying in contact with them, that touch of reminding them who you are. And it says, hey, reach out to me, let me know if, set a time, set an appointment to schedule kind of an annual review to get some information, see if anything's changed in your life. And what we found out was we did a little bit of testing with this, we did some experiments, we sent some emails out. And we said, hey, we've got their attention right here. If they're reading this email, we've got their attention. So let's try to incorporate something new, and let's see if we can get them to engage with us. And so starting in February, we're going to change this around a little bit. We're going to work the language there on it. But what we're going to do is we're going to add a button. And because we have their attention, we're going to see if we can get them to submit an annual review, essentially kind of a questionnaire. And so in our testing so far, there's been some good results for this. We've had a lot of people that are, because they're right there, they're engaged, let's go ahead and submit this, and then let's see if we can get that passive data that will hopefully start feeding you guys, okay? So the idea is that once they submit or hit this button, that they kind of go through a questionnaire. It's a very simple questionnaire. It's lots of yes, no, right? So, have you been recently married, separated, divorced? What widowed? Have you recently had a new baby? Do you have new health concerns? Have you recently sold or purchased a new home?
These are all things that we talk about from a sales perspective, sales training, life events. These are major life events. And it's basically just going to ask your client, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Now, is this all encompassing? Will this capture everything? Of course not. But it will capture a lot, won't it? Go ahead.
Okay, and so obviously when they click that link, this is gonna appear on your client business builder website. So your photo is gonna be there at the bottom, your information is gonna be front and center. So obviously the idea is to get this passive information, and then after they submit it, it's obviously gonna email to you. And if they're all no's, then maybe it's Andy, you can kind of go into that in a little bit more detail about whether or not send an email, say thank you for the submission, let me know if something changes. But if they're yeses, that's what Andy's going to go into some detail here in just a minute to kind of explain how you might be able to help them if those yeses start to pop up on those questionnaires. Okay, so at the convention we released our APPABO 2.0, and so this is a screenshot from the new 2.0 site. So hopefully everybody's created a beta account to access this site. If you haven't, you can still do that on the home page of the old APPABO. It's a quick link at the very bottom that says click here to create an APPABO 2.0 beta account. So you can access the 2.0 account from there. Now this first thing though I'm going to talk to you about is how to sign up for these email campaigns. So this is both in the old APPABO and the new APPABO, and it's under the client dashboard under email campaign. So you can do it in the old and the new. But in this scenario, once you click email campaigns, you will see the 4 options that we have, and you can pick any one or all 4. And as you may have heard, there's some happy birthday emails going out to your clients, or maybe there's a blog newsletter that the company kind of sends out on a regular basis. We try not to bombard them, but we make a few touches a year kind of scenario. And so that's how you can sign up in either APPABO to opt in your clients. So when you do sign up for the subscription, you're going to opt in all your clients that you currently have an email address on automatically, and then any new clients from that point forward are automatically going to be opted in as well. So this literally is the easy button. You click policy anniversaries, you click save, and you're done. And the rest is just going to happen from a system standpoint. So one thing that I just wanted to point out is you can see here we've got 3 records. I know it's kind of hard to see from the back, but 2 are missing email addresses. So we get emails from about, I'm going to say 60% of the policy applications that are submitted. So we don't get emails on everybody. So we want to kind of call to your attention the fact that, hey, you can add email addresses for your clients yourself in these systems if you haven't already. So if they're not coming in, we encourage you to do that. And we've given you a couple of new little utilities to help with that process. The first being that we have a filter now that says only show the clients where we don't have the email addresses. So this is going to really filter that very fast for you. And so you can see now that you're only looking at the 2 without email addresses. And then the next thing that we've done is we made this really fast edit tool that if you click on the pixel icon, you get a pop-up and you can just quickly add the email address on the screen and click OK and you're done. And then you can just move on to the next one. It's a really fast way to add and populate your clients. So if you haven't, add email addresses to your clients that don't have it, please try to make that a task on your to-do list. Because every one that you add is going to be another touch, right? It's going to be another email marketing campaign that goes out. It's putting your name and your face in front of your clients. So the next thing is this link here is a tool that we added in order to switch a client from essentially to a primary switch the primary contact on your client. So as you can see in this scenario, John and Jane, they have the same email address. And the way the email system works is we can only send one person per email over into our email marketing system. And sometimes we get kids first. So we may get like a 12-month-old that a parent has used their email address with, and the kid gets sent to the email marketing system first because their policy may go through really fast and the other one may take a couple of months. So we encourage you to go onto this new utility, look at the ones that have duplicate emails, and that way you can switch kind of your primary contact to the person that you're working with the most. And obviously all you do is you click that button and you switch it over and you kind of move on. So again, just a couple of utilities that we've added in the new 2.0 system to hopefully kind of make this really easy, speed up the process, and obviously, one of the takeaways is try to add those emails of the clients that you have or that are empty today. And so the last thing that we were going to do is Andy's going to kind of take over and talk to you a little bit about what happens if they say yes to some of these questions and how do you address that.
Thank you, Trent. So as Trent said, this is the email that you're going to get. And correct me if I'm wrong, if they say all no, they still get the email, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. So you're going to get the email no matter what. If someone fills it out, you're going to get notified. And so if you see a red yes anywhere, that should tell you one of two things. Either the protection they had, the plan they had, may no longer be what they need or what's best for them. Or two, there is money in motion. And if there's money in motion, what can you do? You can help them, people. You can help. And if one of these changes, you see a yes, maybe their plan is no longer working. Maybe they only had term insurance and now they need to talk about conversion. Maybe they had an IUL and because of something that changed in their life, maybe they need to do another needs analysis, right? So let's just talk about this example real quick. Hopefully everyone can see it. It said recently had a death in the immediate family, yes. All the other ones that are on here are no, but recently had a death in the immediate family, yes. So Tony this morning said most of his appointments are via what? Zoom. Think about someone who maybe is going through the death of a parent, the death of a spouse. Do they have time to come in and talk to you? Absolutely not. Even if they did, they probably don't want to, right? But how nice would it be for Tony or for any of you to say, hey, I saw that, I got an alert that someone had died in your family. I'm terribly sorry. At your convenience, I'd love to talk to you about it. Here's my calendar link or whatever the case may be. Set up a time to chat with me. Is that nice? Is it empathetic? Does it show that you care? How many financial advisors, insurance agents, property and casualty agents are doing that? Not a whole lot. Some maybe, but not a whole lot. And Trent has set this up so that this is an alert right into your inbox. How great is that? Trent worked really hard on this. Give him a round of applause. We've been talking about it because we needed to find a way to make it easier for you to do annual reviews. Now, what are a couple things? How can you help someone that just recently had a death in the family? Well, sometimes when people die, people receive what? They receive a death benefit, inheritance, all this kind of stuff. Maybe they need a competent attorney. They need help. You might be able to make a referral that way, whatever the case may be. We talked Lori yesterday morning. First thing yesterday morning. It seems like a long time ago now. But Lori talked about how many females leave their advisor when what happens? When their husband dies, when their spouse dies. Do you want this to happen to you? No, you don't want them to leave you. You want them to stay with you. I think what Polly meant to say is she wants to capture the people who are ready to leave. Will someone bring a cup of coffee? You get the idea. You get the idea. When there are major things happening in your clients' lives, you're going to be alerted. But what do you have to do? You have to capture emails. And what else? 2 steps. opt in, right? You gotta opt your clients in. And the good news is, if I understand it correctly, you only gotta do it once, right?
Yeah.
It's not for each client, it's just once. It's the easy button, folks. Because of time, for brevity's sake, I wanna make sure we get everyone out of here on time. We're not gonna go through all of these and how you would work through it. But be on the lookout. I think I'm gonna do some videos, some training material on how you would handle, hey, recently received an inheritance, recently changed jobs. What are some talking points? What are some opportunities for you as you work with those clients? One more time, give it up for Trent. He worked really hard on this. I hope you are excited about this. I hope you understand that it's going to make your life easier to stay in front of